Good evening, everybody. I'm not sure what's going on with my camera. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Let me get that going here. How's everyone going today? Happy Friday. I am, I have some special guests in the house today, so I'm going to shout out to, hi, Jocelyn. Anyway, I'm going to get everything ready to go here and stop by and let me know if you're here. All right. Oops, I got to mute my TV. All right, so I'm going to move down to the table here. I pulled some things from my stash that are in stock that kind of correlate with this month's release. Hi, Karen. Um, it's all the quilting release. Hi, Mama. I see the pattern here, 4x4 stamp. I do have these items linked down below. Those are affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using that link, I get a little commission from that. I pulled the X pattern stencil, and I did pull the Crafty Elf stencil. There are a few of these, and there are also a couple. I don't think the dies are in stock, but there is just a handful of You're So Special stamp too. So I want to do that. And then I'm going to pull, hi, Luann, pull a vintage Christmas. This was in last year's Christmas box, and I have not used it yet, and it's still in stock. So we're going to use this and just see what we can come up with. So let's get started. How is everybody today? I have started filming the 12 days of Christmas. So I will have them going up on Saturday. I think that's 12 days before or 13 days before Christmas, because I think there's 13 bags. So these are the cutest little pattern papers. I mean, these are 2x2, and there are red and green. And I thought I'm going to use these kind of to mimic a quilt pattern tonight. And then I will use some of these other items as well. So let's get started and stamp out our image first. So I had some Perfect Blend paper. Just gonna pull off a little piece here. So, and the anniversary party's tomorrow. Oh, that's right. I gotta make a phone call about that. So for Luann and the people in Pittsburgh, I'm so excited for you guys. You'll be together. Unfortunately, I am virtual, but you'll see me in the virtual camera. All right, I wanted to stamp out, I thought maybe this guy with the scissors, because we're kind of doing more of sewing. And I thought the other one is, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the You Are So Special one. Hi, Kate. And we will stamp those out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I'm just using a piece of Perfect Blend paper that was in my card, I said just a scrap piece. You will wave. All right, Luann, I will wave back. You might not get to see me, but I will wave back. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp those down. I don't think I have enough room up here, so we might have to redo that one. Yeah, we'll have to redo that one. It's up a little too high because I have that crease mark. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do tonight, and you guys know me. I like to just go for it. Find something and play. I'm going to go ahead and stamp on our little scissors guy. And then because this one didn't work, we'll just flip it around like this. And we'll stamp out, oops, we'll flip it around like this. And I'm going to just move it down just a hair. And, oops, not quite on. I didn't line it up because it's dirty. That's fine. So I hope everyone getting ready for Christmas and all that fun stuff. Like I said, I am super excited for Christmas. I've got my Christmas decorations up. I have one Christmas present way. Well, I guess technically it's not a Christmas present. It's a birthday present because I have oh, that one moved. All right, well, we're not going to do that. So let's tear that off and we'll grab another piece of paper. So Grab this piece of paper. We'll just use this one in the corner here. And put it down here. And I'm going to just line it up in the corner here. Oh my goodness, I keep moving everything, you guys. What a night it's been tonight. That's all right. We'll make it work. See, we all make mistakes. I like to leave the mistakes in because then I figure people realize that everyone who makes mistakes, whether they're crafting live or they're crafting at home. Okay. And what I wanted to do is the reason I want to leave it in here is because you know me, I like to color and then I like to cut it out. Okay, so there, we got that. I'm gonna let them sit aside for dry for a few minutes. And then let's see what we're gonna do next. My craft room is coming together and I promise as soon as I ordered a few more containers for my stamps, they're supposed to be here tomorrow. Once I get it organized, I will do a video that shows, everything that I've kind of done. Let's see here. Let's see, we want to do some red and green paper, I think, too. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some old cardstock I have here. I'm just going to grab some stamp, I'm going to grab this one. This looks like it's small enough. There's some green. This is cabbage. Not all of this is in stock. I will apologize for that because I know I have some of the new paper too, but I'm trying to use up some of my old paper, which I'm sure some of you have. If you were subscribed to the stamp of the month, there are other stamps that were with this sentiment and this release that will be great to go with our December release. There was like a scissors and there was a die of the month at that time. So, go ahead and look through those if you guys were a subscription for that. But, all right. So then we got this piece here. We're going to go ahead and stamp this down with some green, or I'm going to do green ink, and we're going to do I'm going to do Christopher's favorite. Okay. So I'm going to imitate him because I love it when he does this. We're going to use 4, but I love it when he says that. Just every time I hear it, I was watching a video today and he was using an old video today and he was using this. And every time he said it, it just makes me laugh and smile. So I love this little pattern because I'm going to see if you can bring that up. It's sewing patterns and it will line up if you want it to. I have lined it up before. Tonight, we're just using a small piece because we're going to add a lot of different things together. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, the one thing I didn't do was use an anti-static powder tool. And now I'm thinking I want to put icicle embossing powder on this. So I'm going to do that quick. You guys don't mind if I change things up a little bit, right? All right. So let's grab that. Actually, maybe here, we'll do the icicle. So I'm super excited for the release. If you have not checked it out yet, go in, check out the subscription products. I love the either pick 5 or the whole shebang, which gets you, the whole shebang will get you everything. And then if you do the add-on, you would get everything for the release. But I do like the pick 3 and pick 5, so you can just get the few items if there's just a few you want. I've got to plug in my heat tool here. I'm gonna just heat set this because that will give it that dark green, but yet it will also still give it that fun, shiny texture. Ooh, that's hot. Awesome. Now, if you were doing this on white paper, you could ink blend over it. You could do like a brown ink and do ink blend over it and kind of make it kind of like faded and old. But I like the color because we're kind of making some fun, kind of Christmassy cards, but yet not Christmassy cards. Okay, so that's all we need this for. So I'm gonna actually get rid of that for now. And I'll put these away. Okay, next, I'm waiting to let these dry a little bit in person. So, because I like to have them dry just a little bit and so I heat set them. I'm going to make a mini slim pattern. So I'm grabbing some alabaster cardstock. I like to use a heavier cardstock when I'm making my card bases or my card panels because then I have something a little bit more substantial to put on my card. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do a mini slim card? Yes, I do. You guys know me. So 3.25 by 6.25-ish. That works for me. I always do a little bit of a 6.25. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. We're going to trim down while I have my cutter out here. Trim this out a little bit so that I can trim off the edges I didn't stamp. And we'll have to probably cut it down some more, but it's got this so far. I've got this great X pattern stencil, which I think is really fun. I'm going to do the top and the bottom because if we decide to leave this hole, it can be in the middle. But I haven't decided that yet because you guys know me. I like to change things up. So we're going to do the same ink. And we're going to grab some of that red paper from that vintage Christmas. And then I am going to try to keep it kind of straight. Let's tape this. So I'm just using the X at the top. And then I'm kind of going side to side. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to go ahead. We're just going to worry about, I'm not going to worry about the whole thing, just mostly the top. My ink, this looks a little dirty. Might not have cleaned it off. I probably should have cleaned it off before we used it, but it works. I really like this stencil. I haven't used it in a while. Like I said, we're just going to do the top and the bottom because that's all we're going to see. Look at how fun that is. Isn't that fun? I have another idea for this, but I didn't try it, and I don't know if I want to try it during the live. You could totally, what I was thinking is you could totally mask off some rows and make stitching. So we might still do that. All right. Let's stretch this out again. I'm kind of doing halfway to the X and then try to straighten it out as much as I can. There we go. And then we'll just go in, like I said, try to make it straight, but it's a homemade card. It doesn't have to be perfect. Clean and simple. It's easier to try to get everything straight, but I feel sometimes if you go wonky, things work better. Okay, so there's that. I think that's all we might need for this ink. So let's just put that off to the side. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here because I am going to be filming tomorrow like nonstop. I have so many videos. So this is a great background already. You could stop right here. But I think it's going to be fun to I want to mix in some of this paper. So we've got the green, but I'm going to go ahead and grab some red. But I want to look at the patterns here. I'm liking this pattern. So go with this. I don't know if I want to use all the polka dots. I'm thinking I might, maybe this one too. So this is the same one. And that's that one. Okay. So I do think this is fun. If we get along too far, I will make a second card and we will add some more of these because I have an idea using this stencil with these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut them down. I'm going to cut this in half. These are 2x2 squares. So we're just going to cut them in half at 1 inch. And I've got them stacked up together. I'm holding them real tight. And we're just going to cut them down to 1 inch. And like I said, I'm totally just kind of playing around with what it is. This is my process when I'm making cards. So I'm thinking about maybe just sticking them down underneath here. Sticking down underneath here. I like that. And then may or may not use these other ones here. I kind of like just a little bit of that. So I think this is what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and start getting this ready. I don't like to overthink it too much because I feel if you overthink it too much, then you either do too much or, it's card making. We're supposed to have fun, right? So I've got this pattern here. So I'm going to line it up. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm just going to stick this in right here. So we could have cut this down even further. Now, hopefully, by having it straight on the edge, it is straight across. Okay. This piece may not be straight because I didn't cut it. I didn't have to cut all the sides, and so we can fix that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this again, and we'll set this one here. And then we got that. It looks close. Okay, so now let's grab this piece, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's square first because I know this one side is not. So we're just going to turn it around each side and cut off a little bit on each side. And make sure, like I said, it's all, there we go. That's all straight. Okay. Now I get to put this on. And the other thing that's great about this pattern is that there is no up or down. The numbers go every direction, so you don't have to worry about, you can use this for lots of different things. So I would definitely, it's a fun one to have. I know it's only a 4x4, but it's very, very nice to have for a background. It's one of those mixed media type stencils that you can just take and stamp down and make marks. So I'm going to go ahead and just line this up. We got to kind of eyeball the different reds so they look close. Oops. All right. And so this isn't quite straight here, so we're just going to fix that. Nobody's going to have to know. We're going to go in here, just going to line it up, and we're going to trim a little edge off. And now we'll do the same thing on this side. There we go. And now it's straight enough. So we've got a great little background. Now this is a card where you could do it this way, and you can do it this way. I haven't put it on my card base, of course, yet, but you can do it all sort of, so you different directions. Now we've got our cute little guys here, so we're going to color them up quick. And we've got lots of time here yet, so, we'll probably come up with something else here too. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a few markers. We're not going to do a whole lot of color blending or any of that stuff. You guys know me. I'm just going to grab a few colors. We need some sort of skinny tone one. I don't even know if I have one here handy. This one looks good. Of course, we'll need some hair too, but we'll color these guys up first. We're gonna do some reds and greens. Ooh, where's my cheaters? There they are. So, all right. Got my little Olo markers here. And I like to put a small piece of, I learned this in a tip while I was live once. Somebody told me if you put a piece of paper underneath, it doesn't bleed. So we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of red. Yeah, I'm just going to do, you could do yellows and reds, whatever you want. I'm going to add some reds because I know this isn't quite the same red that is on my colored cardstock, but it's Christmas. It'll be fine. And we'll just, do this. So I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know it was said I was going to go live, but we ended up having all those fun crafty videos with the different things that we had. So I wasn't able to, I didn't go live because of that. But I hope everyone got some good deals over the Black Fridays. I was a pretty good girl. I didn't do too bad. I ordered a little bit, but not a lot. I'm pretty happy with what I got. I ordered a few things because I wanted a couple of the, I had to replace a couple things that I've had in my stash. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just kind of color off. I'm just dabbing this with the tip. I'm not really trying to color too much because there's such small areas. All right, we'll put this one off to the side and we'll go ahead and cut this guy. This guy, we're going to color him opposite. So I'm going to do the red at the tip because the green was over there. And then, there we go. And there we go, there we go, there we go. And then I might color this a little bit different this time for this guy, because we're going to add all the fun colors. And instead we'll do a little red, because this is my card. I can color it however I want, right? And then we'll do opposite legs for this guy. And then I got this one and this one. I am so excited to watch Christmas movies this weekend. I think it officially snowed here in Iowa, obviously, if you've watched any of the news. And I'm going to go ahead and watch my favorite, White Christmas, I think, this weekend. I haven't watched it yet. I don't watch it until it snows. Watched a couple Christmas movies already this year. You know, we watched the best Christmas movie ever, Die Hard. We watched that the other day. I watched a few holiday baking shows, but it doesn't quite feel like Christmas because I haven't watched all those other things. But like I said, I decorated, and yesterday I found some solar lights at our local dollar store so that I had a garland out. I did put a garland out because we were like at 50 degrees over Thanksgiving. So I wrapped my garland on my pole, my banister, but I didn't put any lights because the lights were broken because they were old. And I was like, I'd already, for some reason, I didn't check the lights before I put them on, which was really dumb of me, of course. So I just decided, fine, we'll just do garland this year. And then I found some lights that were all strung together that fit perfectly so that I used those. And I strung those up. And then but the side on this side doesn't have a light, and I didn't have anywhere to plug in lights, and I really didn't want to drape a cord because it's my front porch. You know, if we get a delivery, you know, because I love Amazon, of course, and or you know, I sometimes I take the dog. Oh, my marker just blooped. Well, we will make that work. He's gonna have to have a green collar. My marker went bloop, so we'll just go with it. It's fine. And then, anyway, so I found solar lights to put on. So I got them up yesterday because I got them just yesterday. So I put them up this morning quick before I went to work. And they did have a little charge on them, I think, which is weird because they've been in a box. And anyway, they must have I don't know. Anyway, I turned them on and they worked tonight. I was so excited. And they actually will blink or stay solid. And I didn't want blinky lights outside because I thought that might drive me nuts or the dog nuts if we were looking outside seeing blinky lights the whole time. So this is part of his sleeve here too. I said, we're not going to do a lot of shading for this just because it's a small thing. So next I'm going to quick color in his face and his hands on both of these guys. Just because. Now, you know, you could do very rosy cheeks. I might grab a marker for that just because they're cute little elves. I love this guy trying to thread the needle. I think it's so cute. Because, you know, we've all tried, if we've ever tried to thread a needle, it's like lots of times. That's funny, Kate. Mine barks at all of them, but he always has his tail wagging. But I think it's because he always wants them to come. I usually have everything delivered to work because I don't know when they're going to come here. Not that it's just that if for some reason one of us isn't home, it's just my office is always open, so it's easier to come in and do that. And I think there's a little bit. This looks like it's a sleeve part here too. We're going to make it a sleeve. Part of his hand. So yeah, but that's kind of funny because mine will bark at some of them and not others. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a yellow. That's what, because I know a lot of times you have yellow on, a lot of times you do yellow for the elves, so that's what we're gonna do here. So we're just doing some fast, fun coloring. We're gonna make our belt buckle gold yellow. This is YR23. It's one of the colors I think that kind of helps make more of a gold color. Do the boots, and then we're gonna do the fun, the fun little pom pom there. And then I haven't decided about the balls on the end yet. Hi, Miss Penny. How are you? Haven't talked to you in a while. Did you go? Did you go off to the anniversary party this year? I can't remember. All right. Sorry, I'm just kind of concentrating on these small areas. So, like I said, I didn't remember if you were going to go to the anniversary party in person to this year or not. I need a brown. Oh, that's purple. That is not going to work. Let's see. Go around and grab a couple more. I'm going to color both my elves' hair brown, and then we need a gray. You virtual too. Okay, I couldn't remember. And there's a gray. We're just going to use this YG for my gray. And we're just going to color that there. Color his belt. We could make his belt. We could actually, maybe I'll change that. We're going to color that over. And I'm going to color this like this. And I think I'm going to make his belt, their belts red. I think that with that. And we're going to make his little balls on the end, his like jingle balls. And they're going to be silvery. Okay, so then we got our brown for our hair. And there we go. And there we go. Just a little bit color, and then we're going to grab this red. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Brandon. Sorry, I guess I just missed you guys sneaking in there. How are you? I'm just using a few things I found that are still available in the store that are in my stash if you guys would like to add them, because they are fun to add additions to this awesome release, the quilt release. I'm super excited for that. And to have things cut this way. And then I'm going to grab a pink, and we're just going to do a little bit of rose, kind of a little bit on it. I'm going to do a little bit on his nose, a little bit on his cheeks. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab, I've got this RV00. And so this is Crafty Elves. That's the stamp set is in stock. The die set, unfortunately, is not. I am going to use the die set tonight, but you could also fussy cut them. And then I also used You're So Special. There was only a handful of this You're So Special left. And this obviously definitely would go with the quilting because of the sewing. So if you're interested in this, I would, and I did link it down below in the description box because, like I said, there are only a few left. I think I'm going to make my thread red as well, just because I want it to all kind of match. And then we'll grab this one. We'll do this one in a different green. And we'll color it this way here. And then I want a light brown for my spools. And we're going to do those in just a lighter brown. So like old wooden spools. And then this, I'm not exactly sure what this is. So we're going to just make it. I'm going to add some pearl to that after we're all done and make it kind of like a puffball-y thing. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like it might be wrapping paper or something, but it'll work. It'll be fine. We might even cut it off, to be honest with you, because it doesn't fit our theme. But here's where I'm going to go a little crazy. This is where some of you might get a little nervous. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to put this guy back in, and hopefully it works. Cross your fingers. I'm going to just kind of look at it. It looks good because I pushed it right into the corner. I like to do this. Hopefully I don't screw this whole thing up. Oh, I did. I screwed it up. See? Darn it, darn it, darn it. Well, it happened. So I might have to recut him out. I wanted to try it. So I better not chance it with the other one because I don't want to have to color all the way over. Okay, well, let's cut this guy out. See, I wanted to show you that it does happen, but I wanted to do it. That's all right. So now that's something where obviously if I was making a video, I would cut that out, tell you what happened, cut it out, and then redo it off screen. I don't know if the You're So Special cutting die is in stock as well. I forgot to look that, the small 4x4, but I do know that, like I said, the stamps are in stock as of they were this afternoon. So another stencil that is really good for this release is the winter woven stencil. That's this one. It's a layering stencil. It has two. It's a really good one too if you're looking for some things that you can add to your stash to correlate with this release. Oh, let's get these glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. What are I want to know, because I don't have as many traditions as I used to because my kids are now grown. What are some of your traditions, your family traditions, or your go-to traditions for Christmas? Like I said, my kids are grown, so if I see them, we might have traditions that we do. But one lives on the other side of this country, and the other one, he's starting to make his own memories. He's got a girlfriend, and so this is actually their first Christmas. So who knows what their plans might end up being? They might have some things that we don't do. Plus, his birthday is close to Christmas, so but like I said, the one thing I definitely have for Christmas is my White Christmas I have to watch. Okay, so we've got this little card. I think we're just going to use this guy since I screwed up my other one, unfortunately. But let's pop him up. And that is no die, just a stamp. Okay, so yep. And there's only, I think, like they said, there was only like 4 left when I looked this afternoon. So this is a great little 2x2, 2x3 stamp set. It coordinates with the Crafty Elves. And it's a good one that you could easily, he would easily fit on like a tag. This is the fancy label tag. He fits on there really nicely, or like on a circle, or a circle die, or an oval die. So thank you, Penny. I forgot, like I said, I forgot to look for the dies. I didn't think so. I thought they were sold out because I think, to be honest with you, I didn't have the die. And so I had to buy it. So I had it. Grinch, yep. Oh, Rudolph. That's right. I knew Rudolph was going to be on. You know what I haven't seen in a while? Charlie Brown. I'd like to see Charlie Brown Christmas. Family Christmas PJ pants. That's awesome. Advent calendars, Polar Express on Christmas Eve, baking cookies together. That's awesome. I love all of that. A lot of times I watch It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve because usually that's on TV. So I like to have that. I like to watch that on Christmas Eve, or I like to watch Die Hard because I love to watch Hans Gruber fall off the top of the building. That's just me. But I'm gonna grab this here and we're gonna pull this off. I'll clean this off later. And then I'm just gonna put it up here. My one family tradition that my cousin Sarah is been awesome to do. She took over for us is we have a chocolate roll, which is like a giant Swiss cake roll, but better. My grandma always made it, and Sarah took it over and started making that for our family tradition. I did not stamp that straight, but that's okay. So I haven't had that in a couple years. We did get together around Thanksgiving to see all of us, and that was really special to get together. I probably won't be making it up. However, my mom is coming to visit me. So she'll be sitting in my craft room when I'm live for one of my lives. I hope she doesn't mind sitting here because I do have a chair. She can sit here. I don't think well, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll do a pre-recorded video too. Because, I don't get to spend that much time with my mom because we live quite a ways away. But we're supposed to get a little bit more snow tomorrow. I'm lining up the Your Special on the top. And I'm gonna line it up again on the bottom because I think I did it just a little bit different. And then I'm gonna line up. There we go. Because the sew is above and below. That does not look straight at all. Holy cow. Let's try this again. I will try to get a straight line because that is one thing we need. There, that looks a little better. That top was not a straight line. So we got that. And you know what? It's okay if it's not. Mom gives me a special spot. Yeah, see, that's still not that straight. See, look at this. We're going to line this up. Oh my goodness, that is not. So let's cut that down. So I hope my little friend, my little friend that is watching in the other room is enjoying this. I know she really wanted to watch me. She brought me some fun stuff, and we're going to add some of that to my card tonight. I'll show you. I just wanted to tell, I've done this before. I don't think I've done it during a live in a long time. So I wanted to give you a hint. I know a lot of people have these, or they know people. If you do diamond dots, use your leftover or ask them if they have, if you know they have extra. You can always put it out there. Do you have extra diamond dots? And grab them. So I got these tonight and we're going to use them. These are some fun ones. I'm going to find, there was some specific ones I saw. We've got these, those are more like berries though. I think yeah, there was some like this. That I like these. These are like little, almost like little leaves. So we're going to use those tonight. And I thought these are perfect. They've been saving these for me. And since they dropped them off, I thought I would use a couple. So, oh, my glue is kind of stuck. I don't have a pin hand. I don't think. Let's see if this one will work. There we go. All right. I've got that and that. And just going to put a couple of them down like this. I'm going to put a couple right up here. I got a little too much extra glue there. That's okay, because I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. And then I'm going to put one more right here. And we'll grab this and go upside down. And we're going to put it right there. And there's basically our first card. We have a few minutes, so I'm going to kind of play with something else here. May not get it all finished, but we can start with my idea was. So what my idea is, let's find a card. I'm going to go right direct to a card base. I don't do this very often. I usually use a card panel. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make a little bit of a patchwork quilt. I've seen Sarah do this a couple times, but we're going to not be as fancy as Sarah. She has done like cut them down a little bit more. So I'm just going to grab the same pattern. I don't know if I want to use this one. Let's use this leaf one. Got that one here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then we got to flip them over, and let's use the polka dots. I think that's fun. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now I don't know if this is going to work exactly how I think it's going to work because I think they're a little too big. Yep. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to actually get a card. We're going to make a card panel only because I want to cut it down to make it work. And I have one A2 card panel like this. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and run tape runner over the whole thing. And we're going to start in the center-ish. Just adding a lot of tape runner. Start in the center-ish. I'm just going to start to one side and then center, like I said, and just put one down. Then we're going to grab our polka dot and we're just going to butt it up against this one. This is why I said I want to do a card panel because it's not going to. And then I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. And then I'm going to take one here and one here. Okay, so then we've got this fun little pattern. And then if you don't have glue on everything, you could cut it down. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down, cut the extras off first. And then we'll cut this little strip off right here. Now, this is where, if you can tell, now I got a nice strong cutter because this was thick alabaster cardstock. You could use thinner paper if you wanted. It's not quite even, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit. So 5 1/4 looks like it's right up there. And I'm going to go down to 5. I'm going to go down just a hair side. And then we'll cut down a little bit on that side. Now, does that look straight? Not quite. Not quite. I must have moved it just a little bit. So there we go. I didn't hold it tight when I was cutting it. So I'm just kind of lining and looking it on my grid paper to see that looks better. Okay, so here's what my thoughts were for this X. I think this is kind of a fun little idea here. Now, I didn't clean my stencil off, so I got to do that quick. Throw this down, and throw a little squeaky clean on there. Slowly working through my squeaky cleans. I have so many, they're so great. And then, and of course, it's still not quite 100%, so we could cut it down. But what I think I'm going to do is I want to do it just like this. And I'm going to just do a little washi tape there, because we only have to do really one row. And we'll do one washi tape like this. And we're going to line it up so that the X's are right in the center of that. And then I'm going to grab my alabaster ink. Hopefully this stays centered. And I have a finger dauber. Now, what did I do with it? Oh, yes. I have a finger dauber right here. And we're just going to take my finger dauber and we're just going to go down the center of each one. Now, you could anti-static powder tool quickly and heat emboss each one of these with like silver or gold or something fun. And are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I usually do place mine at the bottom, but I didn't. I was trying to hurry, but look at how fun that is. It's like little X's. So now I'm going to try to be careful so I don't quite smear it. I mean, I could have heat set it, but I'm just going to go for it. Hopefully not smear it too much. And do another one. And you know what? I'm not a seamstress. Hi, Cordelia. So if my lines aren't straight, they're not straight. All right, I'll pull that up. And look at how fun that is. Stitching, it is stitching. And then we just need one more. And I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. I know I have a little bit right there. We'll just be really careful. We'll go down the line. Like I said, you could make this very, very, very noticeable by covering it with, embossing ink or like alabaster embossing ink, and it'd be very, very shiny and stick out a lot more. All right, let's move that off to the side. And see the fun stitching? Now, like I said, I moved it a little bit up there. I can just wipe that off. But I think that's fun. So let's kind of hit that with a heat tool quick. Just make sure it's kind of dry before I go on too far. No actual sewing required. And I've got some on my desk, so we're gonna quick wipe that up too. And I see my other ink pad is not closed. Make sure you close your ink pad. And where's my card base? So I'm gonna put it on my card base, see what it looks like. Other than the fact that my card base, I did not fold straight, which we can fix. Just put it up end to end and grab your bone folder and seal it down. And of course, I think that is kind of fun like that. And because I don't have another one of my little crafty elves, we're going to kind of do a little cheat here because we are getting lower on time. I do not have time to color a whole one in yet. Let's go ahead and put this guy down. That was still a little wet. You can see it on my table. All right. Straight as I can make it. Okay. Let's wipe this off here. So those aren't completely dry yet, but they're more heat set. It's exactly. Nope, exactly. Like I said, we have got this one. I have this already done. Now it's a little bit lighter, so I think what I'm going to do is grab just a hint of cookie dough. And I'm going to add just a little bit of brown on my ink, on my thing to kind of darken it a little. Brown on red kind of deepens it without turning it a different color. We're going to add it's just going to darken it a little bit. I'll kind of, this is the heirloom tomato. It's going to be hard to see on camera there. You can kind of see that it's where it's shiny. But I'm just going to quick do this. Just add a little bit to make it a little darker. And I mean, we could have gone a lot darker. We could have used the Gur, would probably made it a little bit darker yet even. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this quick. But it's a little bit not quite as ready. It's a little, I said, it could be, we could do it differently. We've got this here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use part of our Christmas, we have, oh, actually, this is when Christopher showed these, and there were some in this is a Busy Sidewalks sticker book, and I saw it and I had to pick one up. I mean, I have to open it and show you. Look at how fun this is. All sorts of stickers and some alphabets. So it's called Busy Sidewalks. And I think that's what I want to use is we're just going to kind of go through and look and see what we can find. I mean, some of these have gold on them, so they're fun like that. Excuse me. This would be perfect to go with the city release, the city sidewalk release. I'm going to go ahead and grab this Peace on Earth sticker. And I love that they're see-through too. Oh, Penny, I might have bought more than one for sure. I know I have two. I had a second one coming once I bought this one because I love it. And I think it's going to make some fast cards. So I've got that Peace on Earth. And then I don't have any ribbon handy. I do, actually. Let's grab some. That's right here. Get some red and white ribbon right here handy. Yeah, I saw just a brief one of it and thought I ordered the one right before. Oh, yes, I'm channeling her always. And then when I got it, I looked at it right away, and then I was like making sure that I could order another one. I think on the Wednesday live, I ordered a couple. I ordered it because I just couldn't resist. And this is going to be a fairly simple card when it comes to the tag and everything, but you could totally, like, I have an extra, here's a sneak peek of something coming from the Christmas box. You'll see something like this. I mean, I've got this beautiful red flower we could add, but I want to kind of be basic and simple with this because I love the tag part of this. I think I want my things to be, and then we're going to pop this guy up too. So we're kind of covering up all that fun stitching we did, but it's just that little bit of something extra. It's in the background that gives it that little extra something. That makes it handmade. And then if your lines aren't straight, you know, like if you didn't get all your stuff on straight, it's there's some release paper here somewhere. I do have a piece of release paper here. Is it that side or this side? Oh, not this side. This side. I can't get the sticker off. It just adds that little extra something on top. And then, of course, to finish off this card, because it is kind of a basic-y, you know, card, we're going to add a little sparkle. But I'm going to do this off camera because I don't have my thing handy. So I'm just going to spray it with some ornament golds. And that adds that little extra sparkle to my card. And then I have it, actually, this is even a basic card that if you were ready, you could go ahead and if you wanted to, you could go through your stash, find some pine needles or some holly dyes or some berries. And I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of those. We got some of those red diamond dots here that my little friend brought me. And I'm going to grab a couple of those red ones out. And I might find some berries things in my stash later. And we'll just add a couple of those. I had one there and one here and one here. We'll do 3. I think I only pulled 2 out. Wait, one more. And I mean, oops, now we got lots out. But there you go, you guys. So want a little bit more, took a little more time. And like I said, I screwed up my little thing on that. So we kind of jumped and went to something else. I hope that was kind of fun. Hopefully next week I will have a bunch of the new release to play with you guys with you. It should be on its way to me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Check out, you know, the store, grab some of these extra things if you want. And I will see you guys all next week. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.